From Studio A in Texas, USA, welcome to In Wheel Time, our all things automotive car talk show. Today's 2-hour program is all about the Dodge brand. From the factory guy to history to the enthusiast, we got them all. We'll also have new vehicle reviews of the Cadillac Xt6. And at 11:22 this morning, Central Time, Don Armstrong will have his Craftsman Tool rant. And I encourage you to tune in for that or tool in for that. We'll also have our weekly Ram Tracks and Jeep Trails features. We'll have this week's automotive news, the Mystery Garage, Conrad's Car Clinic. It's all just ahead in another jam-packed 2-hour In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, July 25, 2020. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. Thank you very much. And as I mentioned, it's going to be about the Dodge brand. We're going to talk about the model lineup. We're also going to talk about a thing called the performance pages, which is inside the Uconnect system, the infotainment system, inside a lot of the Dodge products, as well as Jeep and their high-performance Jeep models. Right. Yes. So it really goes across some of the FCA brands. And we think that you'll really enjoy it and appreciate it. Are we ready with Ashton?
Yes, sir. He's here.
Why don't we just go ahead and just start right off the bat. He is from Dodge. His name is Ashton Munoz. Ashton, hey, it's always good to see you. Thanks so much. Is that your home garage? I'm sorry, that's your home garage?
No, I wish. I'm actually up north in northern Michigan right now.
In a bar?
No, little coffee shop.
Little coffee shop. Yeah. Well, northern Michigan. So we're actually experiencing a little. Actually, it's a hurricane. It turned into a hurricane overnight called Hurricane Hannah, and I think that there's a Jerry Reed song in that somewhere. But at any rate, how is weather up there? Are you in the UP?
I'm very close to the UP. The weather's been beautiful. I drove a Charger Scat Pack up. It was absolutely amazing. So I can't complain at all. Hopefully you guys are doing well too.
Well, we're not doing as well as you are, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
But it's always good to see you. You're looking sharp this morning. We appreciate it. So we're going to have a couple of segments with you this morning.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be now. We're going to talk about the Dodge brand model lineup. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about the Uconnect performance pages, and we always look forward to that. So let's start with the Dodge brand because matter of fact, before we get started with you, I wanted to read a story that appeared on Automotive News that I think really kind of brings it all home for us both. And I'm sure that you've read the article too. So FCA, Fiat Chrysler Automobile's high-octane Dodge brand, known for its dedication to muscle cars, led mass marketers in a J.D. Power study measuring excitement and emotional attachment to new vehicles. And since we're car guys, we get that, that's for sure. J.D. Power's Automotive Performance, Execution, and Layout study, a complement to its initial quality study released last month, measures attributes across 37 areas experienced by owners, ranging from the sense of comfort and luxury they feel when climbing into the driver's seat to the feeling they get when they step on the accelerator, according to the company. Scores are based on a 1,000-point scale. Dodge is the first domestic brand to earn first-place honors in the appeal and quality studies in the same year. Dodge was followed by FCA's Ram truck brand. FCA captured two wins for the Dodge Challenger and the Ram 1500. So, but before we get into that specifically, I know that there have been some changes in the Dodge lineup that's announced just recently, as a matter of fact. Maybe you can shed some light on that for us. He's frozen, and I think that we've lost him.
Yeah, I can totally do that. Joe.
Now we got you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we got you back.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
I have some stuff to show as well, so I can show you that too. It just kind of goes over our whole lineup. But when you mentioned the appeal study, we actually also got the J.D. Power IQS study. So this is the first time ever any brand has been #1 in J.D. Power IQS and #1 in J.D. Power for appeals. So we're very, very proud of that.
What is IQS?
So initial quality study.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we got #1 in quality. And like you said, #1 in appeal. And that's actually the only time any brand has ever been #1 in quality and appeal.
Well, congratulations,
Seriously.
but it's not a surprise. My daughter has a Dodge Challenger, a 2015 model, and of course, Mike and I get to drive new cars out of the press fleet quite often, when we always look forward to any of the Dodge vehicles,
absolutely.
and especially the Scat Packs and the Hellcats and the really high performance. But I have to compliment you. Let's not leave out the V6, the standard engine that comes with most of them. It's got plenty of punch too.
Yeah, the V6 has got plenty of punch, up to 300 horse for a sedan in this market, when most economy sedans and other vehicles are kind of getting in the 200 range. So it's definitely a quick car, and you can actually feel the weight difference too. So it's a very fun driver.
So let's get back to the model lineup changes that were announced here recently by the Dodge folks, and they're getting away from some of the cars and SUVs.
That's right. And I just shared my screen, so let me know if you want to take it back, or if not, this is fine too. But
you're good.
You're good.
This goes into our lineup for 21. Is Dodge is America's performance brand. So we have the Charger, the Challenger, and the Durango. All of those have the available 300 horse starting, and then up to over 700 horsepower, and across our entire lineup. So obviously we start with the Charger. It is the world's most powerful production sedan, period. It's the fastest mass-produced sedan. It's Consumer Reports recommended. And then we just talked about the IQS and appeal as well. And then you have the Challenger, which is, it's the world's most powerful muscle car, hands down. And for 21, it is the fastest muscle car that can run a quarter mile. So obviously we're always wanting to be #1. That was kind of our big thing for 21 model year. So you'll see that roll over into the Charger, that roll into the Challenger, and then lastly, but not least, the refreshed 21 model year Durango. So again, you'll hear me say world's most powerful probably way too many times, but that's just Dodge.
That's all right.
But this is the world's most powerful SUV. It's the only one of the V8 in the class. Best in class towing and the biggest screen too. So obviously we're all about performance and and power in V8 engines, but we also are about technology too. And all of these vehicles have insane amounts of power and technology.
Now, Mike and I haven't had the Durango yet, and you mentioned the screen. Did you guys steal the 12-inch screen out of the Ram truck and put it in the Durango?
So not that one. This screen is actually really cool. It's a 10.1-inch screen, and it's horizontal, so it sits really nice and well inside the Durango cabin.
Well, we can't wait, hint, hint, to get a hold of that. It's almost a 12-inch screen that sits horizontal on the dash of the new Durango, the revamped Durango.
Yep, the refreshed Durango. And then one more thing, just on top of all that, obviously we're all car guys and girls here, and everyone likes a deal. And we try to keep it super simple at Dodge, so we have power dollars going on. So it applies to all three of these vehicles. $10 per horsepower back from the factory. So right off the bat, you're saving $10 a horse on all these cars.
$10 a horsepower.
What a great way to promote your power programs that you have out there, because either from the V6 all the way up to the Hellcat, how much do you want to save is how fast do you want to go?
How fast do you want to go?
Exactly. So right off the bat, you're saving at least $3,000 anywhere to the Challenger Red Eye or the Super Stock, getting up almost $8,000.
So obviously there has been a lot of overtime put in between the marketing department and the finance department there at Dodge to actually work together and come up with this very, very unique promotion. I've never heard of such a thing, but what a great deal that can be had by all of the buyers out there and those that are interested.
Yep.
And you know, the other thing too that I think that is worthy of mentioning is the fact of the resale value of these cars is relatively high compared to other American brands, and and there's a reason for that. I think that it just is a testament to the fact that you guys have put together a package that is affordable and it lasts a while. So when the guy goes buys a new, let's say a Challenger Hellcat, and he keeps it for a year, and you and I both know that there are lots of guys out there that have the means to be able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That when they trade that car in, it's still worth a lot more money than many of the other brands out there in the same category, if you really want to call them the same category.
It is, and obviously with being an FCA company, Dodge, there's a lot of other vehicles within the FCA portfolio that are awesome in resale, like the Wrangler. Everybody knows that's been an amazing resale car for numerous years. The Charger and the Wrangler actually won this year again. The Charger being the 6th year in a row for ALG Residual Value Award. So as long as we're talking awards and values, I might as well throw that one in there.
Well, I have to admit to you that I was watching an episode of Roadkill last night, and they happened to put the Dodge Charger Hellcat up against a Ferrari in the quarter mile. Now, granted, there is certainly a weight advantage on the Ferrari, and yes, it did beat the Charger, but let me tell you something.
Yeah, but it's only 4 times the price.
Yeah, 4 times the price, and the Charger did run in the 10-second quarter mile category, so you can't really beat that too much, I don't think.
No, not at all, and especially for 21. I don't want to jump ahead here at all, but I have some stuff, and we can talk super high performance for 21. And I want to get into the quarter mile because I know we spoke last time a little bit about it, but getting a sedan in the 10 second, let alone mid 10 seconds for the production sedan is just an incredible feat nowadays.
Well, please, you don't need our invitation to talk about it. Go right ahead. We're sitting on the edge of our seats.
I'll save the 2 fast ones for last. The Charger Challenger are two top performance models for 21, but I want to get into the Durango MCA. It's a really big story for 21 model year. The car you're seeing right here in the background is actually an RT. So obviously we always like to talk about our Hellcats, our high performance models, our Red Eyes, our Demons. But we wanted to carry some of that DNA down into the kind of the bread and butter of our lineup, which is kind of the RT in the Durango world. So this Durango, you'll see, it's got the flat bottom steering wheel available on the RT GT. That is the 10.1-inch radio I was speaking of. So it kind of sits a little horizontal in there. Wireless charging pads all throughout the models. Both types of USB. Obviously, we're seeing, the switch over to USB Type C. So you'll see that in all the cars now. And then we actually went back to hard buttons for some comfort control. So ventilated seats, heated seats now have hard buttons right in that dash there.
I love it. And I have to tell you that I just got out of another brand here recently that had no hard buttons in it, and it drove me insane.
Yeah. One of those things you wish you just had at your fingertips and you didn't have to dig through screens to easily turn on or off.
And, it's a known fact because the studies have been done that people want a volume knob and they want a tuning knob, and thank goodness that you guys have paid attention and you got that.
Well,
exactly.
That all comes down to listening to the customer.
That's it.
And we know that Dodge has done a great job of listening to the customers as long as we've been involved with them. I remember going up to Texas Stadium that one time when they did I think it was the CMA Awards, and Dodge was there with a big event, and that's what they were doing is they were listening to what the customer. They were wandering around asking them what they thought. It was a Ram event, but asking them what they thought of the product.
Yeah, it's cool you bring that up too, and that's a huge part of our job. And I just think with how everything is today, it actually makes it a little easy for us to hear the customer through social media, through all types of email, all that kind of stuff, all the media events we see and talk to customers at. But that is a huge part of the Dodge DNA, is listening to customers. And that'll be a big part on the Charger and Challenger when I get to those.
Well, let's just go ahead and get to those right now, because we're still sitting on the edge of our seat.
All right, so here are the two top dogs for 21 model year. So on the left side, you'll see the Charger Red Eye. That is a 797 horsepower sedan from the factory. It is the most powerful. It's the fastest mass production sedan in the world. Mike dropped with the sedan game. We had to put the Demon engine in the Charger. So with that, like I said, you have nearly 800 horsepower. We actually did a little revamp of the Brembo system and the branding on our brakes for 21 model year. So all the 21 model year SRTs, you'll actually see SRT branded on the Brembo brakes, and then they're a little larger as well. And then we have new 20 by 11 inch lightweight carbon black wheels. So these are the lightest 20 by 11 inch wheels that we offer today on all the wide body cars. And then a new hood too. So you'll see that right off the bat. It's a little different than our hood in the outgoing Hellcat model. And this hood is actually 100% functional. That big scoop in the front feeds an inlet on the airbox. And then there's two dual heat extractors on the exterior that pull heat out of the engine bay.
Which is very important when you're creating that much power, is to get the heat out of the engine bay as well. It just keeps the engine at its proper operating temperature.
Yep, heat is the number one enemy for these super high performance engines, and there's a lot of things we can talk about. Even in our next section, when we get into performance pages, there's a bunch of really cool things we did with thermal to make these cars even faster.
So let's move.
And then last,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, let's move on to the Challenger. That's my car there.
So the Challenger. Well, I mean, what do you do already with a 797 horsepower muscle car? The one thing that we were missing is grip, and that's been the story since day one, since when we launched the Hellcats. Got the wide body to increase grip. Well, now we need even more grip. Spinning those 20 by 11s, we just couldn't hook up enough. So with the Super Stock, the world's quickest, most powerful muscle car, like I said, you get the 6.2 liter engine. It has a boost though. So instead of 797, we're 10 horsepower boost. We're running 807 horsepower. So the shift points increase from 63 to 64 to support that horsepower.
And you get an extra $100 or extra $100 off on the rebate.
True. So you'll save money.
Well, I think I heard somewhere in the pipeline that you guys actually consulted construction equipment manufacturer, the steamroller division, and tried to get those underneath the rear suspension, a big, huge steamroller tire.
We tried everything we could. We pulled a few tricks out of the hat though for the Super Stock. So one thing you'll see here is the brakes. We put the smaller brakes on the front instead of the big 6-piston Brembos. We have the 4 pistons on the front to keep the weight down in the front, along with 309 rear axle, so higher rear axle ratio. And then instead of the 20-inch wheels, we're going to 18 by 11, so more sidewall, more grip. And then instead of the outgoing 305 width tires, we're going to 315 Nitto drag radials all around.
Nitto drag radials from the factory.
Only car right now that's offering drag radials.
When does the car hit the showroom?
So it will be a late 20 model year. So it'll be a short run in 20 model year, and then full production in 2021. So you'll be able to order 21s towards the end of this year, and they'll start arriving on dealer lots early 2021. But dealers and customers will be able to put a small order in the 20 model year.
Well, the three of us are trying to pool our money right now while you're talking to figure out how we can put this all together.
Now, a quick question. The Challenger Super Stock, is that the color, or is there going to be some options?
No, this is just our hero color. We did the reveal car in this Go Man Go, but yeah, it'll be open to the full palette of colors.
Okay,
that
just
we
checking.
offer.
Ashton, it's great to talk to you. We're going to be back with us here in about 10 minutes, and we're going to talk about the performance pages. You good with that?
All good. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Ashton Munoz, Dodge brand, the guy. And we're going to talk to him at the bottom of the hour, as I mentioned, about the performance pages. Just ahead, we review the Cadillac Xt6. Be sure and join us each and every Saturday for our live show, 10 a.m. to noon on our website, inwheeltime.com, Facebook and YouTube, and catch our podcasts on your favorite podcast channel. In Wheel Time continues after a quick break. Stay with us.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show on this Saturday. We really appreciate you joining us. Time now for this hour's car review. Got a chance to drive the 2020 Cadillac Xt6. Available trim levels include the Premium Luxury and Sport. I had the Premium Luxury front-wheel drive. It does come in all-wheel drive as an option. It's a small SUV according to the government. We like to call it a midsize. It is a 3-row SUV. It will seat up to 8 passengers. Exterior changes from last model year. There was no last model year. It's all new for 2020. Exterior features, sharp overall look. Front fascia design with the squinty headlights at the very top makes it look like a menacing locomotive in a good way. Tail lights, very similar to the XT5, a little different. It's good looking on the outside. Sunshade over the rear glass. The 400 that is notable on the rear hatch refers to, sitting down?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because there's not a 4-liter in it.
No. And I had to actually do some research to find out what the 400 meant. So the 400 nomenclature on the back hatch refers to 367 Newton meters of torque, rounded up to the nearest 50. Makes it 400.
Okay.
Now, who and why did somebody think of that?
Well, because 357 would have made everybody think it was a gun.
But seriously, who would?
Meters, or use
Why
pound-feet
would
of
you
torque?
put 400 on it? I don't understand. It makes no sense to me for people, dummies like me, that ask the question.
I've asked the question because that's
367 Newton meters, not pound feet, but Newton meters.
Anyhow, on with the review.
What could use improvement? To me, the exterior does not say Cadillac. That's just who I am.
But they all have that series of smaller Cadillac SUVs all have a very familiar look.
Well, this is not a smaller SUV.
But it's not an Escalade with a full frame. It's still a CUV, and all 3 of them, the 4, 5, and 6, all have a relatively familiar look.
They do.
Which isn't Cadillac-y enough for you.
Just saying. Interior highlights. Speakers built right in the dash face. That was different. Kind of liked it. Different looks for the various trim packages and a large plastic piece on the passenger side of the dashboard. Sliding cup holder for the second row. The third row is difficult to get in and out of. Once you get back there, if you can, I hope that you are flexible. because this is one of those vehicles that they squeezed a third row in it.
It has a third row, but it's not an adult.
What I liked about it, I like the GM infotainment system, easy to use and understand. What could use improvement? Again, the third row and the sliding second row that doesn't fold or tumble forward, so it really doesn't give you enough foot room to get your feet in there.
Into the back.
Now, granted, I do have a size 12 foot, but still.
Well, you know, when I looked at it, I wasn't wowed by the interior. You look at some of the interiors, some of these vehicles that are coming out today, especially in the luxury segment, and you look inside and it's like, wow, is that awesome looking. This one was good looking, but it didn't just kind of blow my hair back.
You know, Conrad, and I have to be honest with you, I know that I'm jilted in my view of Cadillac because my aunt and uncle in Alabama always had Cadillacs dating back to the mid-50s.
Right.
As long as I can remember, they had Cadillacs. And there was this certain sense of luxury about them.
It was a status symbol at one
Yeah,
point.
I mean, huge chrome, all of the stuff of the day. Now, I understand it's not that way any longer.
But the exterior and the interior said, I am a prestige car.
And I didn't get that feeling in this. 3.6-liter V6, 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque, plenty with the
400 Newton meters if you round it up to the upper 50. You're welcome.
I'm still aghast at that. Tow rating, well, this may be a good thing for 400 because it has 4,000 pounds of tow ability.
How many Newton meters is
Yeah,
that?
can you convert that to Newton meters?
18 miles per gallon city, 25 highway for combined to 20. I got 23.5 over 415 miles. What I liked,
And that's good in that size SUV.
plenty of power. What could use improvement? Where's the hybrid version of it? I mean, why not? They've got all that technology. Just stick it in there.
And what I've read is Cadillac is going to start being the innovator in that hybrid platform and EV platform for General Motors. So
that's correct. And I've got a story about that coming up. What I liked about it, it was, as far as ride and handling was concerned, very comfortable and standard on the Sport model, which is actually a bump up. Base trim price $52,695. Prices tested $69,585. It was loaded up with lots of additional options. Base model price $52,695. Competitors: the Audi Q7 for $54,800, Acura MDX for $44,500, and the Lincoln Aviator for $51,100. And that is the review of the Cadillac Xt6. Hey, 30-minute podcasts of this show are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can also catch our video stream on Facebook.com/InRealTime and on YouTube/InRealTime. Quick break now. Right back after more of these messages.